Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the ninth installment of the Taped Up Podcast. I'm your host, T-Mec, and I'm again here with the wonderful Ryan and the wonderful Eric. Unfortunately, another bad weekend of football. The Green Bay Packers did, in fact, win, and the
Beat
Cleveland
the
Browns
piss out them boys.
did, in fact, lose. But it is what it is.
2 weeks in a row
We're
now
gonna just-
that's happened.
Yeah. We were talking
Watch
too much
out,
shit.
boys.
We were talking too much shit.
Yeah.
What I do, I
Need
sat
to
in the
lower it
pocket,
down a little bit.
let it come all.
He did. He just
Let
sat
it
there.
come all over me?
He took it.
Pause.
Speaking of talking
Pause.
shit, I've been talking shit about this Cowboys team that beat the Seattle Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. What do we think, boys?
What a banger of a Thursday night. Well, no defense, but
No
Still a
defense.
pretty good game. 41-35.
fun to watch. Like points.
So, okay, that was the Cowboys' first win.
Actually, it technically is the second team they beat that's over 500. Technically, on a technicality,
Who was the first one?
the Jets were 1-0 when they beat the Jets.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Well,
give
that
a
doesn't really
shit.
count.
See where the Jets are now.
Second week of the
Listen,
regular
I'm
season.
just saying,
season.
on a technicality, I seen it on Twitter
Yeah.
today. A Cowboys
Yeah.
fan say, "Hey, we beat the Jets. They was 1-0, buddy."
Oh no.
I'd like to start this off by saying the Cowboys beat the worst 500 team outside of the Steelers. And what I mean by that is they've been on the decline. They have not been winning ball games, and I'm still not impressed.
I'm
that's all I
impressed. I'm impressed with Metcalf. That dude
Not
was
impressed-
fast.
Not impressed with the Cowboys defense, I'll tell you that.
No.
They did get 3 stops.
Mm.
They got 3 stops on 4th down in the 4th quarter, which is pretty big, but it led up 35 points to Geno Smith. I don't know if you
Facts.
can be too proud about that.
I know.
I don't know. I'm not.
I feel like
I'm still not sold on Cowboys.
they always give up a decent amount each game. It feels like, but we'll
It's
see.
a typical Cowboys regular season.
I know this cornerback
We'll
that was
see
supposed to be
in
the man on
January.
defense got torched. Brant, he got torched this weekend, boy. But let's move on to a thriller.
God,
Out in
damn,
Tennessee. First loss at home for the Titans. Overtime thriller.
Yes. Colts moved to 7-5, looking like they might touch the playoffs. Thoughts?
maybe.
I mean,
I don't know.
What are they 7th right now?
Colts.
yeah, they're in. I think they might be 6th.
That's right. They beat the
Something like
Browns.
that.
Yeah.
They beat the Browns. That's right. They will be 6th. You're right. You are in
Oh.
fact right.
We
I think
no.
the Titans shit down their legs.
Browns beat the Colts.
We beat the Colts.
I just
Yeah.
Damn.
Remember?
it's
We-
hard.
We've been losing so damn much. No, I don't remember shit. No, we be
Yeah,
losing
we
so
got
damn much.
bailed out. Remember?
Oh yes, that's right. Really bad
Yeah.
calls. But I think the Titans shit down their legs. I don't think the Colts won this game. I think the Titans shit the bed.
Yeah. Same thing goes with like what we said with the Cowboys. Colts have no defense at all.
Facts.
Every single game, it's like 30, 20, or 25 or higher than that. But I
It's
don't know.
kinda
They're
scary.
still
I
they're
mean-
still winning games. So
I don't know how good Richardson really will be. Obviously, we got a little bit of glimpse of him, but they're not at full capacity. Jonathan Taylor has been playing all season. I'm kind
They're
of
doing this
curious.
with Gardner Minshew.
That's what I'm going to say. I'm kind of getting curious to see like what will happen next year. Like if they're healthy, like are they going to be like the Dolphins, just score a ton of points and not let anybody outscore you?
And he was a great Steichen was a great play caller at the Eagles.
It'd be interesting to
Oh.
see.
I wouldn't
I
be
think the Titans-
surprised.
I think the Titans are done for the year now after this loss.
I don't.
Yeah, start looking towards the draft.
Most definitely.
Let's move on over
Ah.
to the top 5 quarterback Justin Herbert beating the Patriots 6-0, not scoring a single touchdown and having worse stats than
Sure.
he had in the previous game.
It was a tsunami.
Another excuse. I love it. I love more excuses.
So is the Patriots defense that good?
Patriots defense is the first team in NFL history for 3 consecutive games to hold their opponents under 10 points and still lose the game.
That's
They've done it
crazy.
3 weeks in a row, lost all 3.
That's crazy, actually.
What is Belichick going to do? Go to
draft
the
Cam
Bears?
Newton.
Go to the Bears?
Should have coach for the team that just beat them by 6.
I heard.
We shall see.
Obviously, Ryan, you watched Pat McAfee, but what's his name? Jeff. Jeff.
If Saturday,
Yeah, he said that he talked with Jim Harbaugh and said he really likes Justin Herbert, and he might be going to the Chargers.
yeah.
He don't think he's coming back to Michigan. So
I just think there's
We'll
going to be
see.
so many. I think there's going to be so many coaches wanting that Chargers job. I love how we're all just talking for a matter of fact that Brandon Staley's going to get fired.
I mean, in all seriousness, I know I harp on Justin
I
Herbert
mean,
a
I
lot.
think Harbaugh would have a shot.
I know I harp on Justin Herbert a lot, but
Once
Their
Jim
defense
Harbaugh
was
gets a hold of
dog
him, bro,
piss.
I think he's going to be a really good quarterback.
We'll see.
Like, I'm serious.
Or it's going to be the Chargers Phillip Rivers curse.
I don't know.
One of the two things could happen.
Or Justin
He could be a
Herbert's not top
great,
5.
talented quarterback.
Moving
never
on
win
to the
anything.
Lions at the Saints. Lions starting out as hot as it
Lions?
gets and then cooling off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They scored 21 in
Yeah.
7 minutes, and then I got nervous. My
what was it?
butthole
The
was puckering.
fourth quarter when the Saints started to come back.
Third quarter.
Around there?
They scored
Third
14 in
quarter?
the third and then 7 in the fourth.
Got you. Okay.
I mean, they
Last
outscored
three or
them second, third, and fourth quarter. The Saints did.
Yeah. Still lost. That's crazy. I think Jared Goff's going in the wrong direction.
I
Last
agree.
3 or 4 weeks, he's just slowly getting worse. I mean,
I
he
agree.
didn't turn the. I don't know if he had a fumble or anything, but didn't throw any interceptions this game. But he scored 21 in the first and then get pretty much shut out the rest of the game. Not a good look. Not
Saints
where you wanna
defense
be
seen
in
something
December
that
football.
Detroit couldn't adjust. But if Lions finally get out of that slump, what? How many did they lose straight? 3, 2,
2.
2. Derek Carr got injured.
Again.
What'd they say it was?
Yeah, I did.
Concussion.
Like,
Concussion.
and I think he had like a chest injury too. He got like 3 injuries on that one hit or something.
Ah,
Yeah, he's in concussion protocol nonetheless, though.
I think that's his second one this year. Are they going to tell him to retire like they were Tua?
I just want to know why they're not utilizing Taysom Hill more. I feel like Taysom Hill has really been the focal point of the offense when he's in, and I feel like they're just going away from him, and I don't know why.
when he runs. That's it.
I mean, yeah, but even like when he's on passing plays, like I feel like he has a higher percentage of scoring when he's in the game.
Yeah, but
Yeah, they just got to worry about anything that he could do. Yeah, throw it, run it, probably.
all
I don't know.
right.
Moving on to the Falcons at the Jets. Wow, what a thriller! 13-8.
I don't want to talk about this game. Not gonna lie.
We don't have to. We can move right
They
on
suck.
to the Cardinals at Steelers, who had more rain delays than the Steelers had touchdowns.
Yeah, what, 3 rain delays?
Something like that, 3 or 4. Kyler Murray did
That
not
is
look
a
great, but the
bad-
score sheet would tell you he did with a 24
That
to
was a
10 game.
bad loss for the Steelers.
Yeah,
That
not.
just
Kenny
shows
Pickett's
you-
out.
I mean,
For
they're gonna
not
blame
the
it.
season, but the season.
Yeah, they're
like
gonna
2 to
blame
4
it.
weeks or
They're gonna
something?
blame it on the delays, but I mean, there's nothing you
the
can
rain
do
took all our
about
mojo. James Conner with
the
a
rain-
little
the
revenge
rain
game
did-
against
the
his
rain-
former team.
The rain didn't get Kenny Pickett hurt, but who knows?
I don't know. Kenny Pickett's supposed to have ankle surgery, but it's not going on IR. So I don't know what that means. But no, just know, I know we're going to talk about it later. But next Thursday or this Thursday, when the pod drops, it's going to be a thriller. Mitch Trubisky versus Zappy. Can't wait.
2
It's going to be so
interceptions.
exciting.
Maybe 3.
What a joke.
2 interceptions,
It's gonna
maybe
be so
3.
exciting. Let's move on to my real MVP candidate, Tyreek Hill, torching the Commanders.
What's new?
Yeah. How
What's
many
new?
touchdowns did he have? 3?
At one
Ooh.
point, he had 3 grabs for 150 or 120 yards and 2 touchdowns.
So their question is he going to break 2,000 receiving yards this year?
I think with the extra game, he will.
Yeah. Think it'll be that last
do.
game?
Yeah, I do. I think because there's what 5 games left, 6 games left, right?
5.
What are they at? 9-3, so they got 5 games left. So he has to get 150 in at least one of those games, I believe, or 2 of those games, and then 100 in the rest. So I think he'll get it in 17.
I think he's averaging like 106 per game, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. But I think he has to have another 150 game. I think he's at like 1435 or something like that.
That's
I guess I can
insane.
look really fast instead of just telling you what I think.
1481.
Do
Okay.
you guys know?
1481.
Do you guys know who holds the record? I don't.
Who holds the record?
Isn't it
I don't know.
Calvin Johnson or Randy Moss?
I would assume
Randy Moss.
Randy Moss.
But with 1 less game. Maybe even 2 less games. I think he got hurt at one point. I think he did it in 15.
Yeah, that's crazy too. Jeez.
Calvin Johnson
Yeah.
15.
and Cooper Cup, and Julio Jones,
right,
Jerry
'cause
Rice,
Cooper
and
Kupp-
then Antonio Brown.
Cooper Kupp was going to break it 2 years ago, but yeah, he didn't. But correct me if I'm wrong, Calvin did it in 15 games, not 16, correct? Or no? Was it 16? Does it say how many games he played?
I don't know. I would assume 16.
I think he missed a game. I think that's the big thing because they were going to say that it took Cooper Cup 2 extra games if he would have did it, was the takeaway. But it might only been
Oh.
one. Regardless, nonetheless, I think any record that gets broken moving forward, rushing, passing, whatever it is, I think he's having an asterisk next to it. 'Cause
Plus,
a lot
it
of these
happens
guys,
before that 17th
Yeah.
game.
of course, yeah, of course, that makes a big difference, of course. But we'll see. But Commanders are doo-doo. I don't know what to say.
Dolphins number 1 in the AFC currently.
You guys think the Dolphins have a
On
chance in the Super
tidbit.
Bowl?
Maybe.
I mean,
I
Tua's
do.
our only hope
I think
to
their
stop Patty.
defense is playing. I think their defense is playing better and better. We talk every week about how much of a gunslinger Sam Howell is, and they held him to 127 yards.
I agree. I think
And they were down 31-0 at half, and it's not like he wasn't throwing the ball.
I think Ramsey coming back really helped that defense a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
A
Ramsey's
lot, a
playing
lot.
great.
Let's move on to another pretty actually good game with the Denver Broncos being beaten by the Texans. It was a great game. CJ Stroud gets hurt, comes back out, and wins the game for the boys. I love it. Russell Wilson missed, I think, Jared Jeudy across the middle of the field to win the game, unfortunately. I don't know. I'm assuming he already checked him off and went to his next progression, but very unfortunate. He did a double move on the outside and got right across the middle wide open, and he missed him. So
I don't know
Unfortunate for
how.
them.
There's a guy on the Broncos named Lil Jordan Humphrey.
yes,
LIL' Jordan Humphrey.
love it. Love it.
It's funny as fuck.
Do you guys think the Texans winning this game and the Broncos losing will make it, I don't want to say impossible, but this was a must-win for both teams to make the playoffs is what I'm trying to ask. Like, do you think the
Yeah.
loser,
Yeah.
obviously being the Broncos, won't make the playoffs
I
because
think
of
it
this
was.
game?
Yeah. I mean, they could go on to a magical run. I don't know, but
Of course. Obviously,
I
there's
think
still
it-
5-6 games left for teams.
I think they'll finish
I
11-6.
don't know, the better team definitely won. I'll say that. I think the Texans are by far better than the Broncos.
Do you think the Tank Dell injury is going to hurt the Texans in the long run, though?
Oh.
No,
Actually,
no, I don't.
you see
Okay.
Nico Collins going off for 160 every
Sure.
other game. You see Noah Brown going off for
Yeah.
100 yards every
Awesome.
other game. They still have Dalton Schultz to get involved. They John Mechie.
So you
The
guys
rookie
locking in
last
the
year who had
Texans for
cancer.
the playoffs?
I
think
don't
it's
know
a
if I
lock?
want to
I
say
think so.
playoffs yet, but
I don't know their
Well,
schedule.
they're-
Let
at
me
the rate
take
the
a
Browns-
peek. They're
At
7-5.
the rate the Browns are going, they're going to have that spot. That's for sure.
yeah.
7-5. and they
Bengals
got
might
the-
have that spot.
Do they have the Jags again, Ryan, when you look this up?
7-5, and they got the Jets, Titans, Browns, Titans, Colts.
Win.
Jeez.
So there's a chance they go 4-1 in this next 5.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
puts them at what,
Maybe
11
maybe split with Tennessee.
maybe.
Still 3-2.
So
Them
we're 10 wins for sure.
Say.
We're probably saying
So 10-3
Yeah, I
or
think
10
that'll
and
get it
10 and
done.
7.
10-7 at worst, I would assume. That'll
Yeah.
probably get it done, especially with the decline of all the quarterbacks. I mean, we're not there yet, but Jacksonville's quarterback getting
said-
hurt. Trevor Lawrence getting hurt's not going to help. Obviously, all the AFC quarterbacks that have gotten hurt this year: Deshaun Watson,
It was like
Joe
top
Burrows.
7 teams. 4 of them will have a backup starting this week.
Yeah, it's
That is
crazy.
insane.
AFC, just in the
Just the
AFC.
AFC, just the AFC. That's right.
They showed a
That's
graphic
crazy.
last night of all the quarterbacks that have been injured.
Of all
Yeah.
quarterbacks, the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That
crazy.
was weird.
Moving on to quite a game, actually, from the Carolina Panthers losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Mike Evans securing his 10th straight 1,000-yard receiving year.
Put some respect on his name.
Honestly, I mean, Jameis Winston, Tom Brady, and Baker Mayfield, and he gets it done either way.
Yeah. I thought Panthers are gonna sneak this one, but
Weren't they up like 10-0
they were at one point, I believe.
or 10-7? I think it was 10-7.
Yeah, they were up 10-7
Yeah,
in the third quarter.
I mean, Panthers holding out
Baker
for that
Mayfield
one
gets
win,
the
baby.
job done.
I mean,
Do you guys see? I don't. Yeah, they're both out. I think. Tampa Bay is 5-7.
Tampa Bay still has a
Panthers
chance.
1-11.
Yeah, the
everybody in
NFC
the NFC
South,
South,
is so
everybody
weak,
has a chance.
except for the Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers were there was a
Bucks,
graphic.
Saints, Falcons.
It was either this
Whoever
lot,
wins that division is going.
it was either this
shit,
loss.
Ryan, fucking idiot.
It was either this loss with the Panthers or last week the Panthers lost, and that made it so they were ineligible for the playoffs. And I was like, well, yeah, but the only reason they were eligible this long was because they're in the NFC South. If they were at any other division, they would have been out by week 10.
I mean, it's somewhat still wide open.
Very.
Falcons leading 6-6, and then
Yeah.
Bucks and Saints right behind them 5-7.
Yeah, and
So
I think the Bucks beat the Falcons. We talked about this last
I think the
pod.
Bucks are the best team in that division.
I agree. I think they're the most well-rounded team, rather. Maybe not the best, but the most well-rounded, which I guess would equate to the best. But I don't know. It's a shit show nonetheless, and no matter who gets in, there'll be a first-round exit. Moving on to a potential another first-round exit, the Cleveland Browns losing to the Los Angeles Rams.
Ass whooping. I was going
Joe
to say for the other game,
Flacco-
but this was an ass whooping.
Joe Flacco was slinging that thing. That's for sure.
Slinging that
It looked
motherfucker.
pretty good. But I will say, once we missed that extra point, everything just went downhill from there. I mean,
Yeah. And I saw him miss it, and I was like, oh, God.
yeah,
And then it just took a turn.
a terrible turn. I
We
went.
still threw the ball
Then
for
the,
it.
I went
and
back
then the
to
Rams
the
scored
room.
16 straight unanswered.
Yeah, I went back to the room. It was what 24-19 or something like that. I went back to the
It was
room.
20-19 when he missed that PAT.
Yeah, or
That
I don't
PAT
know.
was to tie it
It was
up.
20 something to 19, and then I went back out there.
Why
and
don't
it
you
was-
got that Dustin Hopkins green screen up anymore? Gosh.
It was 36-19, and I was like, all right, I don't know what the fuck happened, but these past 2
I
weeks,
stopped watching.
golly, man, I don't know.
We still threw the ball 44 times
You can-
on not a rookie quarterback, but a guy who hasn't played in a year, essentially. So it's like his rookie debut this week. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just tired of it. I'm not even gonna. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I seen the I mean, we can probably go over this when we get to the Bengals game, but I just want to touch on it a little. They showed Joe Burrow sitting in the sideline coaching what's his
Browning?
face? Yeah, Browning.
Yeah,
And then they showed on the Browns game, they showed Deshaun Watson in a
Man. they
I'm
put
like-
Deshaun Watson up in the stands because they saw that chain link guy get his legs snapped in the Saints game. They're like, "Yo, Deshaun, chill, bro. Just go sit up
No,
top, dog."
Bengals fans are like,
it was funny.
Joe Burrow's such a team player. I'm like, I get it. He should be down there, but what is he? How is he supposed to coach a dude that went to the Super Bowl and was a Super Bowl MVP? What are you supposed
Yeah,
to teach him?
actually, valid point. How is he supposed to
Like-
coach a guy that's better than him?
I don't understand that.
Down there telling Joe Flacco how to play quarterback.
Yeah, I'm like, that doesn't
Guy's
make
been
any
in the
sense.
league
He's
for
38
50
years
years.
old. You're gonna try to tell him what to do. I don't know.
The Cleveland Browns need to figure it out.
Yeah,
Joe Flacco threw I think it was a 50-50 ball in my eyes, and it ended up being an interception to end the game for us, unfortunately. But honestly, I wouldn't be mad if Joe Flacco made that pass again.
Mm-mm.
Thoughts?
No, I wouldn't be.
I think it was a good ball. I just think it was a 50-50 ball, and it got picked off.
Yeah,
Realistically, I mean, our receiver
Mhm.
didn't make a play on it, but I think he was kind of done with the play and then realized the ball was in the air. If that makes sense, but I don't know. Rams moving to 6-6, Browns falling to 7-5. But let's talk about the 49ers putting it
Best
on
team in the
the
NFL.
Philadelphia Eagles. Ryan technically called it. I agreed with him. I don't remember if Eric agreed with him, but we said
I didn't know.
the 49ers was going to give
don't
the
think I did.
pound town to the Philadelphia Eagles.
He-
Ryan,
I do believe I said 49ers. I'll take them minus 21 is what I said, or something like that.
there's
They
something
won
along
by
those lines
22, 23.
for sure.
And you did
Brock
say
Purdy
you did
is
say
now the MVP favorite.
oh yeah, 100%.
And Eric touched on that 2 podcasts ago. And I said if he has another game like this against a big opponent, I could see why. However, I do have an issue with it because Brock Purdy's not the most valuable player on his team.
Yeah, we said that once.
I
Hey,
get
you
the
can't
MVP.
say he's the most valuable
Yeah.
player on the team when he's surrounded by 18
That's what I
Pro
was going to
Bowlers.
say. He can't be the most valuable player in the league when he's not even the most valuable player on the team. However,
Facts.
it's a quarterback award, and he has been the most valuable quarterback, I think, since probably week 6 or 7, maybe. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
After their
As long as
three-
Dak Prescott or Jalen Hurts doesn't win it, I don't care.
yeah,
If I'm being honest.
I
So 49ers
mean, with how
went out.
Dak's been playing, I wouldn't be upset if he won it.
I would
I
be
don't.
'cause he hasn't
That's
played
coming from a
nobody.
guy who doesn't like Dak. I mean, Control his play. He's balling out though.
So can I rekindle the Lions to the Super Bowl and say the 49ers to the Super Bowl?
Nope, sorry. No take
No.
backsies.
Well, the 49ers are still the best team in football, and we have a sleeper for the best team in football, at least here of late. The Green Bay Packers putting it on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Sure did.
Ryan calls
Yeah.
it. However, they did not call that defensive pass interference. I want to start there. What do you guys think on that call?
Yeah, they gave
And
up that
lack of
weak
call?
ass roughing the or personal foul.
Oh
on
my
Jonathan
God, that
Owens,
was
where Patrick
awful.
Mahomes
What do
clearly
you-
had 2 feet in bounds, and they
Yeah.
threw the flag when the fucking ref was all the way across the field, and the ref that was standing right there didn't throw it. It was bullshit. Both of his feet were in bounds.
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here.
a defensive player has to do his job, and his job is to make sure he doesn't get the first down. So
I think
If you want to keep your feet in bounds, you better expect a hit. I
Facts.
don't get it.
exactly.
But let's touch
your
on the
ass out
pass
of bounds if
interference,
you
not
want.
that call. Let's touch on the pass interference. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on if the refs should have made the call. It was slow mo. It's obviously pass interference, right? I don't think we can argue that. However,
Yeah.
heat of the moment, fast pace in the game. I'm not making that call unless it's blatant, like that Saints game 3 years ago in the playoffs, 4 years ago now. I'm not making that call.
I think they know they messed up with the 15-yarder on the late hit. And if they would have called back-to-back with that defensive pass interference, millions of people were going to be, me included, were going to be saying
You
that shit's rigged. If
okay?
you call those
valid
back-to-back
point.
plays, I think all hell breaks loose,
That's a valid point.
Yeah,
especially from Packers fans.
I agree. I agree with him. But
Okay.
I mean, it happens. It happens almost every week that something should get called and it doesn't, and everyone
Agreed.
bitches about it. It'll happen.
And it's
And it's usually
the Chiefs.
for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
It's usually the
Exactly.
Chiefs.
So,
It's really
yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
I want to touch on Ryan. Do you think the Packers are making the playoffs?
Yep.
You're rolling. You are
You
rolling
are
right
rolling.
now.
You know
You're
our
looking
last
really
5
good.
games? We play the Giants this week
Win.
on Monday Night Football,
It's a win.
the Buccaneers,
Probably a win.
Close, but a win.
the Vikings, the
50-50.
Bears,
Win.
and that's it. Giants, Bucks, Panthers. Oh, I didn't say Panthers. Giants,
That's a
Bucks,
win.
Panthers, Vikings, Bears.
So at worst, you're going 4-1. Puts you at 10-7. In my eyes, I think the Vikings game's 50-50. Just because of
It's-
their.
I
It's
have a hard
division.
time believing we'll end out 5-0, so I'll say that's probably the one I'm most concerned about. But I
So
feel good about all 5 of them.
10-7. We're saying 10-7 in the
We might
NFC.
fuck around and win the division.
So, I guess if the Lions continue to fall, maybe. But I'm gonna assume the Lions probably get a couple more wins, and they'll
Why not?
probably finish with at least 11 wins. They have the Bears, Broncos, Vikings, Cowboys, Vikings though. So you assume they split with Vikings because we've said it multiple times on this podcast. It's hard to beat a team twice, especially that soon. Probably lose to the Cowboys. So they have to beat the Bears, the Broncos, and the Vikings to stay ahead of you, essentially, one time. So that puts them at 12 wins. So I'm going to call a wild card, but I think the Packers do make the playoffs, and I think Bolt agrees with me.
He does. Yeah. I think it'll be
Christian
close.
Watson
I think
had
it'll
a
be
hell of a
close.
game.
They might just get in there, but
I mean, that's a win on the season, no?
Yeah.
You guys make the playoffs? I predicted you guys to win 5 games.
I'm pretty sure everyone did just
Might ask
because
them to win the Super Bowl.
it was his first
Awesome.
actual start. But
All I was
I
looking for this year
shall
was Jordan Love
see.
to look decent,
and he did.
And
and
I
he's
think
done
looked
more than that.
I think he's looked great these last 4 weeks.
What about Christian Watson
realistically.
though? Christian Watson has came out of nowhere. I mean, he did last year too, but
Yeah.
the first 11 weeks he wasn't really doing much.
I mean, you're only as good as your quarterback. If your quarterback's not producing early, you're not going to produce early for the most part, right?
yeah.
I don't know.
And-
It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Packers moving forward. But let's
Love that
get off
chemistry,
that.
Christian Watson did also teared the shit out of his hamstring running around, so that
Yeah.
doesn't look good. But we'll see.
Let's move on to the Bengals and Jake Browning, who should be the $250 million paid quarterback, playing against the unfortunate Trevor Lawrence-less Jaguars towards the end of the game. I I mean, Jake Browning. You guys think it was luck? Think it's going to happen more often? Talk to me.
I think the Jaguars defense played so bad.
That he had time to
If
throw
you
the
were
ball.
watching that game and seeing how open Jamar Chase was 50% of the time, how open Trenton Irwin is 50% of the time, I don't know how, like, they were just running the most simple zone schemes I've ever seen and not taking away Jamar Chase. Like, Jaguars defense looked awful. I don't know if they would have won that game with Trevor Lawrence or not.
Do you guys think that Jake Browning can do it for the Bengals and keep them relevant, or do you think this is a one-time occurrence? Obviously, it's
Uh,
Hoping for a
50-50
one-time
guess.
occurrence.
One-time occurrence.
Hoping.
I don't think he's going to do that next game. How many passing yards did he have? How many touchdowns?
354, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, he's not doing that again.
One rushing.
Okay.
That's
He's
what
not
it
doing
is.
that again.
If Jake Browning continues to do this for the remainder of the season, do one of these teams that need a quarterback in our top, 5, 6, 7, 8 pick, do you think they look to trade their pick for Jake Browning instead
Next year?
this year?
This year.
Like after the season, do you think they'll look to trade for Jake Browning? If
May-
he continues to, like, if he plays like this, like, you think people, because I think people
I
will start making
don't
bids on
don't-
these kind of guys to be in their system because of like
Either
your Brock
schedule.
Purdy's and your other guys who have fit into a role like that.
if he plays really well, I don't think the Cincinnati is going to let him go. But he can also request a trade, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, if you're Cincinnati, right, you've already paid Joe Burrows, and you got a chance at, we'll call it a second round pick, maybe.
But he
even.
gets injured a
Jake
decent
Browning.
amount. I mean, he's been injured for he's been in the league, what, 4 years, 3 years?
I think this is technically his. Yes, this is his fourth
Fourth.
year. This is his fourth year.
His
Yes.
first year he got injured.
Yep.
And then
Second
2
year
year,
Super Bowl,
Second
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
3
Last
years
year and last year.
AFC Championship, and then hurt this year.
I mean, I don't know.
I guess I'm asking, would you guys, if you were the Bengals, are you keeping Jake Browning to be your backup, or are you taking the assets? And this is only
On the
in the thought
Bengals?
process. If you're the Bengals and somebody
If
comes
I'm
to
the
you like,
Bengals,
hey,
I'd ship him out.
yeah,
Yeah.
You
I
can
feel like
find
you
him.
almost- I feel like you almost have to because he's playing well. You got to give the kid an
Sign Colt
opportunity.
McCoy. Somebody.
So with the Trevor Lawrence injury, what do we think will happen with that division now? They don't see the Texans again.
Depends on how long he's
However-
out.
Jags.
Is he out for the season?
Jags
rest of
end
the
of the
season?
season. They got the Browns, Browns,
Ravens.
Bucks.
They'll win those bottom 3 games.
On.
They'll win those bottom 3 games, I think.
Without Lawrence?
Well, Lawrence, from what I understand, it's just a high ankle sprain. So you're going to assume at worst, or at best, he's only out 3 weeks. So assume he loses to the Browns, assume he loses to the Ravens, questionable for the Buccaneers. So we'll say
I
he
think if
doesn't come back. We'll take
play
that a
for the
loss.
Bucks, they lose.
So they'll finish, we'll call it 10-7, right? Because they're 8-4 now. So we'll say they beat the Panthers, beat the Titans. So we'll call it 10-7. And to be honest, the Browns could shit the bed too. Let's not
Yeah.
act like the Browns are good at doing that, especially against a worse opponent. But what do you guys think? And the Texans have, let's see what the Texans have here. What am I looking at?
I mean, even the Colts are a game behind, right?
I don't know, dude. It's going to be a weird
Texans-
year.
The
AFC South is
Texans-
going to be a lot more tight
Yeah.
than we.
The Texans have
anticipated.
Jets, Titans, Browns, Titans, Colts. It might come down to that Colts game.
Okay.
Could get interesting. Could get interesting out there in the AFC South.
Yeah.
But that'll wrap it up for the Week 13 of NFL football.
Guys,
Jumping into
go through
the
this
Week 14 picks, we got a thriller here on Thursday Night Football, the day our podcast comes out. The Patriots will be visiting the Mitch Trubisky-led Steelers. Gentlemen, what are we thinking?
Give me
Mac
the
Jones, I don't think
Steelers
it's starting.
10 to
I'm
3.
thinking I don't want to watch this game.
10 to 3 Steelers.
I will see you on Call of Duty, but I will be taking the Patriots this week.
What? All right.
I'll take the Steelers.
Um,
Just because it's at Steelers. If it was at Patriots, I'd take the Patriots.
potential NFC winning game here, Buccaneers at Atlanta.
I'll take the Bucks.
I'm gonna take Atlanta.
Yeah, Falcons are pretty good at home.
Bucks beat them
They just
last time,
squeaked by the Jets, though.
but Bucks beat them last time. We've said it multiple times. It's hard to win twice.
I'll take the Bucks.
Understood.
I really don't like the Falcons for whatever. I don't know if it's Desmond Ritter that I don't like. Just something about them makes me feel like they should be 2-7.
I think it has something to do with them losing a Super Bowl after being up 28-3, but don't know. We have the Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears.
The Lions.
I'll take the
I think
Lions.
it was close last time, and the Lions aren't going to let that happen again.
Give me
Lions should have
Bears.
lost the last game.
I'll go Bears.
I don't think they'll let that happen.
Bears.
The Colts versus the Bengals at Cincinnati.
The
I'm
Colts.
gonna take the Colts. I'm gonna take the Colts.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Colts
I think
too.
Zach Moss is going to have a field day.
And I think the Colts have too much to lose this game, and I don't think they want to. The Bengals, I don't think it matters either way. If they win this game, it matters more moving forward than it does if they lose.
Yeah.
We have, oh my God, what a thriller. The Panthers at New Orleans.
God.
I won't be watching that game.
Another low-scoring game.
Yeah, give me the Saints.
Saints 7-3.
Yeah, literally.
Jesus
Maybe
Christ.
maybe 3-2. Texans at the Jets. I don't think we have to talk about that game. Give me the Texans.
Texans.
Give me
Stroud's gonna throw for 300 yards.
Stroud is definitely going to throw for a lot of yards. Rams at the Ravens. Give me the Ravens.
Ravens. Fresh off the bye week.
True. Give me the Ravens as well.
Minnesota at Las Vegas Raiders.
Ooh, the Raiders at Raiders.
I'm going to take Las Vegas.
Give me the Vikings.
I'm gonna take the
Bounce
Raiders.
back game for Josh Dobbs.
Surprised you're taking the Vikings. You need them to lose this game.
fuck
Seattle at
off.
the
I don't need
Niners.
shit.
I like
Jordan
that.
Love's gonna win out.
What'd you say?
Seattle at the Niners. Give me the Niners by 25.
Dude.
Seahawks
It's hard to beat a team
lost,
twice.
and they gave it everything they had. Give me the 49ers.
Seattle's been playing like piss these last 4 weeks.
It's hard to beat a team twice.
Their
Okay.
schedule only gets harder.
You taking Seattle?
I don't want to, but I will. Seattle.
Okay.
That's a big swing of the bat there,
A
Eric, and I
game,
respect it.
a game that probably should have held more weight if we were talking about this.
What?
In week 2. A game that should have held more weight if we were talking about it in week 2. We have the Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs, the struggling Kansas City Chiefs, might I add. Who we got, gentlemen?
Dude, I don't know. This is
Give me the
hard.
Chiefs.
It's hard to see
me
the
the
Chiefs
Chiefs.
losing twice in a row, but fuck it. Give me the Bills. I think the Bills. I mean, they've got to start winning games if they want to have like go on a run for the playoffs. So I think it starts. It starts then.
Yeah,
Arrowhead.
This is tough
Fuck it.
only because I mean both of the offenses are not playing well this year. But I'm gonna go Chiefs.
Understood. Broncos at the Chargers. Give me the Broncos.
I'm gonna go Broncos as well. Russell Wilson's looking good.
Gotta be unlimited. And Justin
The
Herbert is
Chargers.
limited.
I think we skipped a game, by the way.
I don't think we
Jaguars
did.
at Browns.
We did. We skipped that. We didn't do that yet.
Hey, yo.
Or Cleveland Browns.
I didn't want to talk about it.
If it was last week, I would say Jaguars, but since he's hurt,
The
I'm gonna
Brownies.
get Browns.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Oh, bro. Come on, T-Mac.
What are you
I know you
thinking,
want
dude?
to.
Give me. Can I take neither?
If you guys lose to CJ Beathard,
No. I mean, I guess
Give me
when
the Jack.
I stopped
give
doing
me
the
the Jack-
records.
Give me the Jaguars.
crazy, you'll never see me picking against the Packers. Anywho, next
Ryan,
up, probably game of the
Broncos.
week.
You never picked
potentially.
on the Broncos and Chargers. Number 1.
I did. I said Chargers.
I don't know why he's not top 5.
You won
Game of the
tape.
week: Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys.
Oh, give me the Eagles.
I'm really confused.
Who won the first one? Eagles.
Eagles.
Give me Dallas.
I get that it's at Dallas.
Yes.
I get the Eagles just lost.
Yes.
Got their asses kicked.
Yes.
Cowboys are 3.5-point favorites.
6-0 at home this year. And they should have won
Eagles
last
are
game.
fucking 10-2.
But the Cowboys should be the 10-2 team, technically. If Dak doesn't step out of bounds, they win the game.
True. That's true. But
No.
you can't step out of bounds.
I've got a tough time seeing the Eagles losing 2 in a row. And I've got a hard time believing
I think them getting their
Dak.
ass beats was going to make them start losing.
mm,
Could be wrong.
the Cowboys. Fuck it.
Fuck
I'll
it.
join you.
We have a doubleheader on Monday Night Football. We have
hate
the
these
Tennessee
so much.
Titans,
Monday night.
at Miami. Give me the Dolphins by, say 21.
Yeah, I like that. Dolphins by 21.
I will take the Dolphins as well.
And then we have the Green Bay Packers at the New York Football Giants.
Packers.
I'm going to take the Packers. But I'd be lying if I wasn't saying I was a little worried about Tommy DeVito.
Give me that boy, Tommy DeVito and the Giants. Putting it on the
Fuck you,
fucking
dude.
Packers.
Hey, Packers by 30. Get the fuck out of here, asshole.
Packers are favored on the road by 6.5. However, give me Tommy DeVito. And that, ladies and gentlemen, does in fact do it for the Week 14 picks. Hopefully we're all right, except for Ryan.
Almost
Well, ladies and
10:30.
gentlemen, I'm sure most of you are in fact aware of the college football playoffs, but if you're not, Taped Up is here to bring you everything they got wrong. I understand that they picked the 4 best teams. However, the committee last year stated they want teams to play out of conference. The Florida State Seminoles beat LSU and Florida. The Florida State, they also said you need to win your conference. Florida State did, in fact, win the ACC, a Power 5 conference, might I add. They also said that injuries don't play a part in how we pick. But yeah, here we are. Florida State doesn't make it.
They do indeed say that. In the
Here we are.
criteria, it says injuries to key players can affect the outcome of placement for playoffs.
They just added that because
I
2 weeks ago, they
understand.
did not say it.
I understand that Florida State fans, Florida State players are pissed.
They got fucked.
I would be as well. But if you think you're going to beat Michigan with a backup quarterback,
Third string.
who you could squeak by the Florida Gators. This
Who's
is
an
coming from
SEC
a Florida
team?
Gators fan who also played with a backup quarterback. They won by 6 or some
SEC team.
weak ass number. And then you barely squeak by Louisville in a game that you know you have to show that you deserve to be in the playoffs.
That's
Had their
true.
best
You
season ever.
barely squeak by. If Jordan Travis was playing, by all
T-Mac.
means, put him at 3, put him at 2.
T-Mac. So this is what
They've
happened
looked
last
like
year.
dog shit the past 2 weeks.
TCU.
Keep them out.
TCU got fucking
TCU
destroyed.
lost
Destroyed.
redshirt freshman 6 months out of high school.
It would have been the same
last year in
thing
the
with
national
Florida State.
championship.
Mm.
It would have just happened a week earlier before the championship.
But
Florida State-
TCU, hold on. With that argument, then Ryan's wrong because Ryan said Florida State's going to lose to Michigan. TCU beat Michigan.
I'm
What
just
are we
talking
talking
about
about
the
here?
4-1 matchup. Florida State stands no chance, and they're going to get waxed by Georgia in the,
So here's my
the
thing.
bowl
Okay,
game.
I'm not going to disagree. Georgia's going to win. However, if Florida State does somehow, by a God-given miracle, beat Georgia, what do we say then?
Then they're wrong. I
Fucking
guess.
Get them next year, pal.
Well, my
They'll get in the
question
playoffs
is,
I mean,
next year.
same thing happened in 2018 with UFC
Cardale Jones?
or UCF.
Oh.
well, I was going to touch on
Talking
that.
about
I
Colorado.
do recall a certain team in the college football playoffs losing not only their starting quarterback at the beginning of the year, but their backup against Michigan, and then having to play with their third-string quarterback, getting in and winning it all.
That's because he was a gunslinger. Talking about Cardale Jones. He put 50 on Wisconsin in the Big Ten. That's why.
My point is though, is like we have double standards for the Big Ten and the SEC. We always
I
have.
mean, it's not double it's just they don't pass the eye test. The last 2 weeks they have looked like a JV team.
They played a team who had their best season ever going into the ACC championship, and they played the SEC, who is supposed to be better than every conference. That's their argument every time.
Brock Glenn threw for
Listen,
55 yards in the entire game.
Ryan, I'm not discrediting anything you said. I agree with you 100%. My problem is I'm
It
discrediting
doesn't
what the committee
sound like
has.
you do.
No. I'm discrediting what the committee has said over and over again. Last week or 2 weeks ago, when Travis got hurt, they came out on the air and said a key injury will not affect how we rank Florida State. And that's exactly what pulled them out. I got to find the clip. I'm going to send it to Eric. We can put it in this podcast. But that's exactly what the commentator said in the game. They said a key injury will not dictate how we rank Florida State. No. That was when they were talking to the guy prior to the Florida game. But they always say, oh, we got to play out of conference. They beat LSU and Florida, who are the best conference in the college football. That's fine. That's fine. I understand that they had a backup quarterback, but by everybody who dick sucks the SEC, he should be a better quarterback than Jordan Travis. He plays in the SEC, the best conference in football.
I'll be honest. I wanted Alabama in so they can destroy Michigan. I don't care.
Again, I said
at
at the beginning, I don't discredit what they did as far as the teams. I get it. They want the 4 best teams. They don't want a TCU. I get all that. My problem is that you fucked a college who gave everything they had to go 13-0 and did everything you guys said you want to see in a college football playoff team. That's where I'm upset. I'm not even I'm an Ohio State fan. I didn't think Ohio State should have made it. I'm glad Texas is in. I am glad Alabama's in because they are going to beat the piss out of Michigan. My problem is that the committee last year said they want to see more Power 5 teams playing out of conference. They want to see more Power 5 teams winning they're not just going to pick like they picked Ohio State last year and they didn't win. They want teams to win their division or their conference. And Florida State checked every single thing. The only thing that happened was their quarterback got hurt. And that's where I'm upset about it. Because they beat LSU when LSU was ranked. It's not like they were beating the dog piss LSU.
All this is going to change next year, so it really doesn't matter. I mean, it'll be 10 times better next year. 12 teams. And
so when Florida State does beat Georgia, because I have this weird sensation it's going to happen. I don't know what it is, but something's telling me it's going to happen.
If Georgia doesn't play anybody.
Okay, then it's kind of whatever. But I just have this gut feeling that Florida State's going to win. What do you do? How do you correct that? Do you make them co-champions? You don't? You don't do nothing? Nonetheless, we do, in fact, I believe, have the 4 best teams in college football in the playoffs, and it should be fun. Alabama should probably
still the best team in the country.
Yeah, unfortunately, they lost to number 8, and you're just going to put the SEC champion in, and you can't override Texas because if you put Alabama in, you have to put Texas in, and that's what it came down to. But nonetheless, it'll be fun. The first game, I think, is on New Year's Day, not New Year's Eve this year now. I think it's the first time they did that. They did New Year's Eve and the New Year's Day last year, but that's okay. And I think Alabama will probably win it all, but I think we're looking for a Texas-Alabama rematch.
I think it's whoever wins the Michigan-Alabama game.
That's going to win it all?
Yeah.
Understood.
I think it'd be pretty cool to see Washington win, but...
Understood. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up for the 9th episode of the Taped Up Podcast. I can't believe it. We're 9 weeks in, and the Browns still might not make the playoffs. What are we doing here? Again, like I said in the tier list video, make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're hitting the bell. Make sure you're leaving a comment. We want to hear what you guys have to say. Comment on our TikToks. Ask us questions. We want to touch on your guys' questions. We want to know what y'all want to know because we need to spice up our content for you guys. And lastly, if you don't do any of that, my boy Ryan, he's been in the gym. He's going to beat your ass, period. So like the video. I love every single one of you.